Well, alrighty. I do not have Nate here to tell me when we are going live. So I am just going to go live and hope that in about 20 seconds y'all can see me. I see there's one viewer right now, so that's exciting. That's probably Angela who's in the chat tonight. And yes, it is finally happening. So, I can see I got a little bit of hair going on, a little bit of craziness. I've been inside all day, so I've hunkered down and I'm still hunkering down. And I thought that would be a good time to come on and do this live for all of my friends that are interested in postcards. Now, here's the backstory to this whole postcard sorting for all of you guys that are tuning in, watching the replay, wondering why I have so many postcards, how I got them. Here's the short end of the story. Okay, so my grandma collected postcards. Unbeknownst to me, apparently she saved all kinds of family postcards, and I was using them to show the brooches on my live sales. And when grandma found out about this through my mom, she goes, "Oh, I have hundreds of postcards. Would you like to have them?" And of course, I was like, "Yes, I would," because not only it's a fun collection from my grandma, it's a family history because there's so many wonderful postcards from my family that have stories on them. So I thought tonight we would just sort of sort through them and I could read some of the messages and I might in turn learn a little more about my great grandparents and other people in my family. So that's kind of exciting. And it's also great to get these finally organized. Hi, Angela. Hi, Denise. Hi, Lydia. Glad you're here. Linda, I'm sorry, I misread your name. But I thought this would be a great live. Now, Angela, dear Angela's Vintage, who's in the chat, she is our moderator for our live sales I do with Soulmate. Every Saturday night we have a jewelry sale. And Angela so kindly, a couple of months ago, so this has been a while, made me these dividers to help organize my postcards. So I'm going to show you this box that I have. And it's a really cool little industrial Shaw Walker box that's green, and that's where all my postcards are. And Angela made these fabulous dividers so I could get them. Yeah, it's been probably more than that. Dividers so that I can get all of my postcards. Oops, see, they're all out of order. This is why I need the dividers. These fabulous little things so that I can organize them. So I sent her the categories of postcards that I had, and then she made up, see, they're all out of order, made these fabulous little dividers and really did such a good job carefully picking images that I would like, cutting out all kinds of various scraps, even using my own photographs that I've taken from various places. I mean, Angela did a really killer job on these dividers, and I just feel horrible that I haven't gotten a chance to use the dividers yet. So this is where this live comes in, is we're finally going to get all of the postcards sorted and organized. So that is the goal for today. And I just kind of went through all of the categories that we have. And then I'm going to go through the postcards one by one. Some of them, if they don't have writing, I won't spend too much time on. But let me show you how many we have. Now, this is a culmination of my collection that I had, and then my grandma, and she also has more boxes. So this isn't even all of her collection. I mean, she has probably several hundred postcards. She wanted to keep some that were from her brother to her dad and some special things like that. So she's got those still, but I have a stack, a big stack of postcards, which will be fun. So I thought this was a great idea too. Yes. And Angela, she is amazing. She really works so hard to get everything all organized and is a creative design master. So I love these. We're going to get them into sections. And what I thought that I would do is we'll go through the categories again. Hi, Sandy. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. We'll go through the categories, and then I will have the categories out on my table that's next to me. And when you guys see a postcard that you think would fit the category, then go ahead and say, hey, it goes in this category, and I'll put it in that category. So Well, you can't see the table next to me, but I've got this big table, so it'll be perfect for it. So our first category is florals. So anything with flowers, and this will be hard because several postcards fit in several categories. Christmas, that's a pretty easy one. And look at the vintage stamps, by the way, that Angela used. That is so cool. I love that. And of course, her signature deer. And then we have Easter. Look how cute that little bunny is. Tell you, Angela has done a fabulous job. St. Pat's Day, she even used vintage playing cards with the little shamrock. Oh, I love that. And the stickles is great. We have vintage neon. These are some photographs I've taken in various places. There's me in Las Vegas. How fun is that? And then New York, and Nashville, and St. Louis. So very exciting things. 4th of July. That's pretty easy. Then we have Valentine's Day. Also a simple category to determine. Fancy interiors, and these are all hotels I've taken photos of, from the Plaza in New York City to the Hermitage Hotel in Nashville to Union Station in St. Louis. So, I mean, Angela worked so hard on these, and I just want to highlight them again. That image right there, the woman in the champagne, is fabulous. It's like a deco postcard image. She did a great job on these. So that's New Year's. Then we have our Victorian women, which are great. You might recognize that middle image from some of the packaging I sent out if you've bought a brooch. And then on the cityscapes, this is kind of neat. She put Jacksonville, Chicago, Houston, and Auckland. So she put all the cities of our little Instagram group, which is so cool. So Angela, that's special. And then our little animals in nature. Look at the hedgehog, isn't he adorable? And of course the deer and the little owl. So that's one. And then we've got our nighttime images. Of course, there's one of my favorite photographs of the Radio City. And then we have, I think that's the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. Yep, because there's the Eiffel Tower. New York, and that cool popcorn image. I love this. The darker the night, the brighter the stars. That's very cool. And then our last one is vintage hotels. And I love the neon on this. And then the U.S. Sense stamp and traveler cigar label. The coolest thing about this is this Hotel New Yorker image. I actually have that label that would have gone on a piece of luggage. And I bought it on eBay after seeing it in our deco book. And then Angela sends me this, and that image is on it. So I was like, oh, that's so cool, because it's such a fabulous image. So vintage hotels. So that is all of our categories here. And I've got them all laid out on the table beside me. And we'll go through the postcards. Hi, Maria. Welcome. I am so glad that Angela was able to do that for me. So hopefully the Wi-Fi holds out. Yes, I am broadcasting from the middle, or start, I should say, of our little bad weather system we're getting here. To clarify, thank you all for reaching out to me to make sure I'm okay. But we are not getting a direct hit from Milton. Our friends in Tampa are, which is really devastating for them. But here we're just getting nor'easter conditions. So I am safe and sound, hunkered down inside. And hopefully we don't lose any internet, but I think we should be okay. So that's just a little update on that. Okay, so our first postcard is not vintage, but I did pick this up at the Hotel Alcazar in St. Augustine. You get this when you have lunch in their cafe, which is now a cafe, but it once was the largest swimming pool in the world. This hotel was built by Henry Flagler. And of course, you can see all the people swimming, and they even had, I guess, these little jumps where you could swim over the water. And now you can eat inside. It's a fabulous restaurant. So this was a hotel at one point, and then it was that Hotel Alcazar, and then it became the Lightner Museum, which has the world's largest collection of American cut brilliance glass. The guy that bought it from Flagler turned it into a museum to house all of his collections. So that is very cool. So I'm going to put this in the hotel category because I think that's kind of where this belongs. So vintage hotels. But I love that image. So of course I saved it. This is also not a vintage postcard, but I did pick this up in, let's see, New York City. This is Cafe Rigaggio. It is from 1927, this particular cafe. It is located over in Greenwich Village, and it is said to have the first cappuccino in the U.S. I don't know that that's true, but it's owned by a little Italian family. The coffee was phenomenal. And when you check out, much like you do at the Hotel Alcazar, where you can have lunch in their cafe, they give you a postcard. So I thought that was very cool. So, of course, I've had this forever, and it's a neat little thing. So that's going to go in the vintage postcard lot. And let's see. Okay, so now we're into the real true vintage postcards. This is the one that's on the graphic. To me, this is the quintessential, like, 1940s, 1950s postcard image. It's just great. This is Greetings from Reno, Nevada. 1950 something. I can't read the post stamp on the back, but it does have the 1 cent United States stamp. And it says, "Hello, Stookie." So that is what they called. My grandma had 3 brothers. She had George, Fern, and Don. And their last name was Stukenbroker. And so Stookie was a nickname. So it says, "Hello, Stookie. I've just picked up one of 3 Keen something. And I'm having on honeymoon. Been to Can, Ocala, something, Nevada, New Mexico, California City, and the country of Mexico, and still going. Hail," I think. And it's so amazing to me that this was addressed to Mr. George Stukenbroker in St. Charles, Missouri. They didn't even need like a street number or anything. I guess back then the town was so small that you could just address it this way and it would somehow make it there. Now, Grandma's dad was also George, so that's very interesting. But wow, how cool is this? What a really neat postcard. So this one, I think, will go in cities. Hi, Nettie. Yes, it's finally postcard sorting time. So I think this one, you guys let me know in the chat, but I'm guessing it's not really cityscapes, but it could go into cityscapes. So I think that's probably going to be where that one goes. Now this one, this one's a fun one. It says, "I've studied all the ways and means to be thrilling to the eye. I can't compete with movie queens, but I'll do it now or die." And it's a little book, How to Be Popular. And then you've got these fabulous women. The hair is very deco to me on this, which I love. And then this is to Beverly Stukenbroker. So that's my grandma. They lived at 803 North 5th Street in St. Charles, Missouri. I love that. So this one, they obviously wrote the full address. It says, "Hello, Beverly. Tell something hello, Fern." Okay, her other brother, Fern. "Tell Fern hello, and to write around will let you know what my something is later. Love, Connie Payne." I'm not sure who Connie Payne is, but I don't know what that word is either. Sometimes it's hard to read on these old postcards, but that's pretty cool. This is from 1941. This postcard. So it does make sense. It's got a little bit of a deco feel to it. That's pretty cool. So this one, I don't know what to put this in. It's not technically Victorian, but it is women. So maybe we'll put this in our Victorian category. What do you guys think? Yeah, Angela says the last one could be cityscapes because it's places from around the city. I know. I love that too, Denise. Actually, I prefer when they're written on. So I'm going to put this for now in Victorian because it's not technically Victorian, but it kind of goes with that theme. And then if you guys think something else, let me know. Oh, this is cool. This is one of the postcards I purchased a long time ago. This is from Paris. And I don't know what this building is. It's not the Louvre. It could be the Paris train station with the big clock, but it has not been written on. And as you can see, I paid $2 for it. I just loved this image. So I think this also will go in cityscapes. I think that's pretty fun. And then we have this one. Oh, of course. Greetings from Florida. Now, I picked this up recently in Springfield. It is from Ohio, New Carlisle, Ohio. It was sent to a Mr. and Mrs. Everett Laurie. I'm trying to read that. 1951. This postcard is from. And it says, Dear kids. Oh, I like this. Little enjoying. It's 82 degrees with shade here today. Come on something. We went to Key West, Florida, and to Miami Saturday and went fishing. Something I can't read on the bay. Visited. It was 250 sand. Something, a word that I don't think is the right word. And was that fun. Hand-picked fun. This is a little better than Canada. So I guess they were from, I don't know. That's interesting. They must have gone to Canada or something. Love something and Esther. Well, I can't quite make that out, but it's very fun to read. Key West is a wonderful place. So, okay, now this one is not quite cityscapes. It's not fancy interiors, and it's not neon. But I'm guessing city is the best one for this. So I think it could kind of go in the cityscape realm. Oh, this one's fun. I bought this online. This is the Train Sheds in Union Station, which is a fabulous hotel. Well, it is now. It was one of the busiest train stations in the world. So many soldiers were shipped out during World War II from Union Station. In fact, they had so many war letters coming through on trains during that time. They had to have an underground passageway between the train station and the big hub in St. Louis, the main post office, to transfer all those letters. So this is where this came from. 1916 is the date on this fabulous postcard here. And it says, Well, my dear, our eyes are getting something, but you aren't. Getting older, but you aren't. I am having a fine time, and with Arthur and Erish. That can't be right. Well, somebody. Thinking of you, oh, so many fun times. Something Frida. So this went to a Miss Bowman, 133 West 7th Street in Erie, Pennsylvania. Very, very cool postcard. I love this. And the trains, how fun is that? Now, this train area here, the sheds have all been turned into meeting space and hotel rooms now. So that's kind of cool to have this postcard from somewhere I've stayed. Now I'm looking at the categories, and I wouldn't say that this is necessarily fancy interiors, but I kind of think this is where this one has to go because I don't have another category for it. So right now, fancy interiors. Okay, let's see. Oh, this is the Blanche Hotel in Lake City, Florida. This is one of my grandmother's postcards, and I love this one because it has the the AAA mark on the back, which is something that Grandma, this was written to her, yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Stukenbroker, so her parents, but Grandma always had the AAA books and did that kind of thing, so I love this. It says, "Here we are for the night, traveling again in the morning. So sorry we did not have time to see you at Oak Ridge." Okay, now this is very interesting. Family piece of history. My grandmother had 3 brothers, Fern, Don, and George. And one of them, Fern, was in the FBI, and Don worked for Northrop Grumman, and Grandma's other brother, George, worked on the Manhattan Project, aka the atomic bomb. And he told my grandmother that he had a summer job mixing paint, green paint. That's what he told her. Well, they toured the factory many times, or the area around Oak Ridge. And Don says, "Yeah, look, that's where I worked, or that's where I'm working," but never told her, because he couldn't, what he was doing until after. So Oak Ridge is where the atomic bomb was made in Tennessee. And that is referring to this particular postcard. So that's very interesting. Let's see. So much that we would not have made it. Something. Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. George Stukenbroker in St. Charles, Missouri, which is where my grandma's from. So this is kind of cool, the outside of this hotel. So I think this is going to go in, don't we have hotel category. So that's where that postcard's going to go. Oh, this is cool. This is Fifth Avenue in New York City. It wasn't written on, but this is one that my grandma had. And I love the little cars down below. I think this is so cool. And then there's the Empire State Building. And is that the New York Public Library? Yeah, I think that's New York Public Library. So yeah, that can go in cityscapes. So we'll put that there. This one, now I bought this just because I loved what it says. It says "heartiest congratulations," which we don't say things like that now, but I think we should get back to heartiest congratulations, because that's just fun. It's just fun. It feels good. This went to a Mrs. Cynthia Masterson in Slater. Can't read the city here. This looks like 1910. Now, 1911. Okay, and it says with love for your birthday or something. August 14th, 1911, Aunt Lillis or something. I'm not very good at reading this old pencil, but I love this. Now, I don't know a ton about vintage postcards in particular. I do have a collection of them. Someone a long time ago told me that you can date postcards because certain ones that have this line mean that they are after 1900, and then the ones before that are earlier because they don't have the line. I don't know that that's 100%, a method to date, but I just love this one, and it's embossed. So this is going to go in our Victorian women category. This one is another favorite of mine. I bought this online, New York City at night. And the cool thing about this one is it has writing in the front. This is from 1906. Now, this one's interesting because it's actually 06 and it doesn't have the line. But it says to Mrs. Phyllis Duke in Champenfield, Ohio. Look at the writing on that. Is that not gorgeous? I mean, we don't have penmanship like that anymore. It says, "I am well and hope you all are the same. Sending best regards to all." That I could read very easily. So that's cool. Now, this has an eagle on the back. I wonder what that's for. Oh, this side is for the address only. Well, that's interesting. So I guess they wanted people to write on the bottom. And this is wild because it has all these little ladies in it. And then you've got feet at the bottom. How cool is that? So I don't know if this should go in nighttime, which it kind of does have that vibe with the moon. It could go in cityscapes, and it can also go in Victorian ladies. So I'm right now going to put this at nighttime, but what do you all think about that? Where should that go? Yeah, I just think they're so cool, all these old postcards. Okay, let's see. Oh, here's another nighttime one. Union Station at night. Isn't that a beautiful postcard? So, hi Val, welcome. I have started collecting Union Station stuff because I love Union Station. It's one of my favorite places to stay. And so I bought this postcard online. This was from 1929 and went to Mr. L.H. Link. You're kidding. This can't be at all the same thing. There's no way. Okay, I don't know that this has any connection, but I'm going to be researching this. So the guy that designed and built Union Station, he couldn't have been alive at this time, was Theodore C. Link, spelled the same way. Now this is not, it's L and H, but I wonder if there's another Link. Maybe he had a brother. Hi, Kat. Welcome. Okay, Sharon and Kat both say nighttime, and Nettie says nighttime. Okay, so that's going to nighttime. So I don't know that this has any relation, but that's cool. It says, Dear Frowls, we had fun talking in the something at St. Louis. As for today, we'll go back to Warwick Hammond, go right in there again. Something, are you fun? Bud, hope you are the same. And then I can't read that, but look at that L. I mean, that is absolutely fantastic penmanship. That is gorgeous. Yeah, this one's going to the nighttime stack. But I don't know if that has any relation to the link that's in question. But I'm going to find out. I'm going to do some digging because that is so cool to have a postcard from Union Station that's addressed to a link. I think that's pretty cool. Okay, December 12th, 1910. This is one that I just purchased because I really liked it with the wax seals. It says, to seal our friendship. May the seal of true friendship beyond us be found as long as we live and the world goes around. That's fun. Dear friend, here you have me. I made your... Gosh, I wish I could read these better. Your sin makes have heard do something. I cannot read this. The pen is very smeared, but you can get the idea from this fabulous card, and I like it. It says, Dear friend, and it says something around me or something me up at the top. Anyway, that's kind of cool. Now, I don't know where this one should go because it doesn't fit in florals. It really actually doesn't fit in any of these categories. So maybe we need another category. What do you think? What do you think for this one? I guess I could go in Victorian for now, but it's not necessarily. Yeah, I know it is like reading prescriptions. Okay, so I'm gonna maybe put this in a secondary category for now because I don't know where it should go. Oh, this one's good. This is New Year's. And this postcard, I wonder where this came from because I don't think I bought this one. I'm pretty sure this came from Grandma. And I know that because it's from St. Charles, Missouri, but I don't recognize the name on it, in Boonville, Missouri. Although Grandma, I think, had some family out in Boonville, but let's see what it says. Dear brother, we received your box yesterday. Wow, so back then they were mailing boxes. I mean, of course, that made sense, but and was very much surprised, especially mother, and were very much obliged for it. Wishing you a happy new year. The red stone was fine last night. Hooray. Harry. So I'm going to ask Grandma about this one, but this is beautiful. It has this kind of gold shine to it, and it's all embossed, and it says good luck. That is gorgeous. Okay, so that is going in our New Year's stack. Let me just find where that ended up. Here we go. So I know no more categories. Well, which category do you think that should go in, Angela? Okay, this is the Sunken Gardens and Fountain, of course, in front of the RCA building, which is no longer the RCA building, so that dates this postcard. In New York, it is the Rockefeller building now, but that is very cool. This is one of Grandma's postcards. It's linen, and the linen postcards are my favorite, but this one I think will go in cityscapes. So we're going to put that in there. I think that's going to be a pretty big category. Okay, this one I got with Jeffrey on our latest travels to the Ohio Extravaganza, and this one is just a 4th of July postcard, which I didn't have a lot of, so that's going in 4th of July. It says, well, moral. That can't be right. I don't know what that says. Now, and you fly this time. Something with eggs. I know that says eggs. And you are going to something for Easter from Pat. See, eggs and something Easter. That's what I can read. Okay, so this one here is going in our little 4th of July category. Let me find out where that is. There it is. This is the one that I where'd it go? I don't know where to put. Should it go in Victorian, Angela? This friendship one with the wax seals on it. It really doesn't fit the other ones. Okay, here we've got an Easter postcard. This one I also picked up on the trip, and it is backwards. Let's see here. With very best Easter wishes, and it's so cute because it's these chickens, and I thought it was hilarious. I mean, I love the coloring of the eggs and the bunny, but look at this. It is a champagne bottle, and the chickens are drinking. They're getting drunk on the champagne. That's just too funny. I don't know the correlation. Yeah, but it's sparkling champagne. So I loved that. And then obviously the writing's pretty much worn away. I can't read that with the pencil, but this will be going into the Easter category. So why the champagne? I don't know, but I love it. And it's our first postcard in the Easter category. Yeah, it really doesn't. So I know. There'll be more miscellaneous ones. I don't know what to do with that. Oh, here's the public square looking Southeast Cleveland, Ohio. So that's beautiful. I just love the coloring on these. This one's not written on, but this was one of my grandma's. So we'll put this in cityscapes. This one was also grandma's. And it's an Easter postcard. It says, hiya, on the hop every minute and loving it. And then it says, wish you were here. Now that handwriting on the bottom looks somewhat familiar. Let's see. Boy, this is as hot as the sun. Okay, they wrote in the corner. And then this was sent to my grandmother in St. Charles from Jerry Higgins. It says, Beverly left St. Charles at 6, but was late. After we were about 50 miles from Columbia, it broke down. waited 2 hours for another motoring fellow to come along from India. That can't be right. Going to take pub relations employed by the American Embassy. Tell you more in a letter soon to follow. How was the something? Hope you had fun. Love, Jerry. From about 9:30, I am now unpacked. So this was sent in 1948. Now, my grandma was born in 1930, so I don't know who this is. I was trying to figure that out. Now, she taught music, and she had music students. This is going in our, where did it go? I just saw an Easter category. She had students that she taught for music, and I know they would write to her, but that would have been much later because in 1941 she would have been like 11 or so. And I know she did odd babysitting jobs, but that wouldn't have been, that must have been someone in the family that I'd never met before. Her mother and her dad both had brothers and sisters, so it could have been one of their kids, I'm guessing. I don't know. Petticoat Lane, 11th Street. How cool is this? This is in Kansas City, Missouri, which we do have family there. 1941 is, I believe, the date on this. Mrs. Beverly Stukenbroker in St. Charles, Missouri. It says, how's the WA advisor of St. Charles? Well, night now. I am pretty tired. I'll give from hearing for the past something. I'll be seeing you when we are at the opera, Shirley. Okay, I don't know who that is, but that is very cool. So that is going in our cityscapes. Oh no, my light just died. Let's see. Hang on, guys. Let me get this plugged in. I thought I had all of these charged. Where did that go? Here. I have to plug this one back in. It's dying. I know. Hi, Adam. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. I know that postcard is really stunning. That's a good one. Oh, and here's another great one. Hotel Dixie Grande and bus station in Bradenton, Florida. And I think there's something in Bradenton. This is from 1950. It was sent to Mr. and Mrs. George Stukenbroker in St. Charles. It says, dear friends, we arrived for the something at 10 a.m. 1775 county is beautiful and so many lovely and wonderful palm trees. We are going to Europe next week for maybe Europe for 2 days, but that can't be right for only 2 days. It did not go through St. Louis. We went through Kansas City. That's a very cool postcard. Again, I wish I knew who was sending these. Grandma, if she were here, she'd know who these people are. But that is a cool postcard, and that is going in cityscapes again. Oh, here's a beautiful New Year's postcard. I love this one. It is embossed. Now, I bought this one. This was not sent to anyone that I know. 1910, this was for a Miss Blanche Honeycomb, or Newcomb, I think, out of Springfield, Massachusetts. And the writing on it is absolutely gorgeous, just stunning. And I love the holly leaf on that. So this will be going in our New Year's postcard stack. And I bet that's the bridge in Central Park. Okay, New Year's. Now, here's another one that's cool. We have so many to get through. I got to speed round this because we will be here for ages. Okay, this is the Central Auditorium in Cleveland, Ohio. What an interesting thing. Like, you go to a place and it's not a city or, the Empire State Building or something that amazing, and you can get a postcard from it. I mean, I'm sure this was amazing at the time to see it, maybe its architecture, its size, but you go to the Central Auditorium in Cleveland, Ohio, and you get a postcard. That's actually very cool, though. And the architecture inside is beautiful. The stage is beautiful. Look at all the people. That's crazy. So it seats about 2,750 people. And the stage seats, what? The auditorium and stage seats 18,000 persons. And the music hall seats 2,750 people. In addition, there's a large ballroom and numerous smaller convention halls. Well, no wonder you would get a postcard from here. That's impressive. Okay, so I don't know if this goes in cityscapes, but I'm going to put this in fancy interiors because I think it's close enough to it. Oh, this is beautiful. I got this from Jeffrey. This was one of the postcards he had in his collection with the ivy because he loves ivy. And it says, with best New Year's wishes. And this postcard is absolutely gorgeous. It is cut out and then you flip it open. I don't know if I've ever seen a postcard like this. And it's got a little poem on the inside and then all of that design. Even the back page. Look at that. That is gorgeous. This one says, greetings and all good wishes to Bertha. All right, Bertha, from Charlie R. May God thy new year richly bless with health and peace and happiness, and grant its days throughout may be the best that yet have dawned for thee. A Lemper Night poem. And then on the bottom, it's got the design copyrighted John Wish in 1911. And it's got little texture around the outside. And then on the back, it has a correspondence message. So let's see if I can try to read that. The likelihood of this is probably not happening. I can't even figure out which way this is supposed to go because it was like written down the the postcard like that. It says, hello, I hope you are fine and hope I am something. Have got a cold. Okay. Something I can't read. Best. Something friend. I can't read what that says on the bottom, but obviously they couldn't really write on this very easily because it was all textured. So, hi Ginger, welcome. So this is beautiful. This is going to go in our New Year's stack here. Oh, I love this postcard. The winter in the snow-capped Sierras in the orange groves in California. This one was one of my grandmother's. It's linen. It wasn't written on. But even the little palm tree detail I love on the bottom. So this is beautiful. I don't know that this is cityscapes, but I think it's definitely floral. So that's going. Our first floral one is made its way. And then we have a Halloween postcard, and I love this. I bought this on eBay. It is probably from about 1920 or something. And it says, this is to invite you to a Halloween frolic, and you'd fill out the information. At blank o'clock, the goblins will get you if you do not come. And then you put the person's name. So I think this is so cool. I love little cats and the bow ties. And I don't know if we have a Halloween one. I don't think we do. So this is going to go in our I don't know what to do. Oh, well, it could go in animals because of the cats. So for right now, I'm going to stick it in the animals ones. I know, Adam, that's one of my favorites too. I love that postcard. I don't know if I'll ever find another one. I almost sold that one, and I just couldn't. I just loved that too much. This one is cool. I also bought this myself recently. It says best wishes, and it's just a little Victorian woman. I like these Victorian ladies because they go really nicely with the brooches that we sell, so I do try to pick them up. This one went to a Miss Mural. I cannot read, but it's from Missouri, and it says from now gold. I think that's what that says. I don't know, but it is fabulous, and this woman is very neat. So she's going in our Victorian postcards with our other floral women. Then we have this one, which is also lovely, and I bought this recently too. It says best Easter greetings. Easter greetings and love. And I just love the little ribbon with the chickens. I thought the floral was really neat. This was sent to a mother, Ernest, and something out of New something, Ohio. I'm sorry, I wish I could read these a little bit better, but with the pencil and the cursive, it's a little bit hard. But this will go in our little Easter postcard stash. So I love this. Okay, Easter, good. And then we've got a cityscape postcard. This one is the Baltimore Trust Building in Baltimore, Maryland. Love the deco design on this. This was a grandma postcard. It came from her collection, and it is blank. So very cool. Hi, Gavin. Karen says hi. She is currently bid ending for Amy and Jason. No, I totally understand. That's okay, Gavin. We're glad you're here. So that's going to go in cityscapes. Then we got another beautiful floral Victorian postcard. I bought this one recently as well. Best wishes. I just love the floral design on it with the embossing and that beautiful kind of deco Art Nouveau design up at the top. And I got this again because just with our brooches, it fits nicely in with our Victorian pieces. Angela, no worries. Have a good time with your friends. Enjoy. And thank you for making these fabulous dividers. Okay, so this is going to go in with the Victorian postcards. It's not probably Victorian in age, but it kind of has that floral feel. It also really honestly could go in with florals. So now I'm thinking, well, maybe I should move it. Should I move it to the florals or keep it in Victorian? It has both feels. So you guys let me know. Okay, this next one is the Cottage Grove Avenue at 62nd Street in Chicago. And it says it's the world's most beautiful ballroom. This was one that was my grandma's. And I cannot read the back. I can tell you right now, I have no idea what this says. But it was sent to someone in Boulder, Colorado. So that is very cool. And this will go in our fancy interiors. That's a really beautiful ballroom. This was sent in 1942. So that's going in our fancy interiors. Okay, so we've got 2 votes for Victorian. All right, that's where we'll keep it. This was another postcard of Grandma's, the U.S. Capitol Botanical Gardens. And I love this with all the florals. And I think there's probably some cherry blossoms somewhere in there. This is a gorgeous linen postcard. It was not ever postmarked, but Grandma, I know, would collect postcards too from places she had visited, so it's quite possible this was one of those. That's going to go in Cityscapes. I feel like Cityscapes is going to be a very big pile here soon. Oh, here's the Madison and the Wisconsin State Capitol from Lake Mona, Madison, Wisconsin. And this was mailed in 1938 to a Miss Flora Greenhurst in Missouri. And let me show you the postcard and then I'll read it. It says, having a grand time, went shopping yesterday. Well, visit the Capitol today. Had a mini rain. Had a rain yesterday, cool enough for a coat today. Miss AM fell. So that's very cool. I love how people just wrote what the weather was doing. I mean, very, very simple updates on life. And then to think that this postcard probably would have taken a week to get somewhere. For someone to read just that little short update and then reply is just, that's crazy to me. Okay, so that's going to go also in our cityscapes. Cityscapes is going to be a big pile. Oh, this is the public library in Riverside, California. This was sent to a Dora Stukenbroker in Owensville, Missouri. Now, my grandma did have family in Owensville, and I want to say the people in Owensville, I might have this backwards, so I'll have to ask grandma again, but they owned a general store. So I think that's them. It was sent in 1944, and it says, "It is Cindy and Carol. Well, clear up from now until the elements to end afternoon in Riverside or Riverdale. He went to a card, something paper with no news. I need something yesterday. Have not had lunch yet." Okay, that's a very important update. Have not had lunch yet. Well, we'll write a letter. Fred. Oh, yeah, okay. So Fred. Yes, there was a Fred. I'll have to ask Grandma and get the whole family tree on that. But that's very cool. So the library from Riverside, California. And I think Grandma's had her dad's brother, I think, was out in California for a time. Anyway, hi, LaDonna. Welcome. Hi, Bonnie. Some coloring as the buildings on Fantasy Island, the original one. Yes, it is the same coloring. So that's very cool. So, okay, I think this is just going to go in cityscapes because I don't really have another category for it. So I think cityscapes is going to be getting a lot of postcards. Here's another fabulous cityscape. Now, I bought this myself. I just love this postcard. Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood, California. Look at the cars. Isn't this fabulous? It's never been filled out, but I just fell in love with this. And all of the neon and the little signs. I would put this in neon, but I think this has got to go in cityscapes because of what it is. Okay, we've got another postcard here. This is the McNeese Rock Bridge in Ohio River Boulevard, Route 88. The coloring on these watercolored like effects on these linen postcards are gorgeous. This one's not filled out. This was another one that Grandma collected. And this could go in florals, but I think, again, cityscapes probably is the best. Hi, Christy. Welcome. So, okay, I think cityscapes, that one goes in. This one is the Washington Cathedral. And, oh, that's beautiful. This is fantastic. This was another one of Grandma's. Now, I believe the Washington Cathedral, if I've got my facts right, they actually, in the stained glass, have pieces that were brought back from the first moon landing. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember so distinctly when I was in 8th grade going on a tour of this cathedral, and the woman who was giving the tour pointed up to this particular piece of stained glass and said something to the effect of that, and it had captivated me in 8th grade, and I'm still apparently captivated by it now. So I would love to do some research, but I think there's something with the moon landing and the stained glass in the Washington Cathedral. But that will go in cityscapes as well, because I don't really have another good place for it. This is a great one, the Midtown skyscrapers and Park Avenue in New York City. And look at this. So you see a lot of these New York postcards with the Empire State Building, and you can see it there, but look at the Chrysler Building in all of its glory. This is fantastic. This was another one that Grandma had, and I love all the New York postcards, being that it's my favorite city. So this one will also go into the cityscapes. Now we're getting into some hotels. Now, I bought this postcard along with the next couple you're going to see on eBay because I really wanted to get some old neon images, and I think these are so cool. This is of the Sun Plaza Motel, and I actually took a photo of this neon sign. It is definitely run down now, but this is in Silver Springs, Florida. So this is kind of a new project that I have started. Is I love neon signs and I love old motel signs, and a lot of them are being thrown away as the motels become run down and they're just not what they once were anymore. And so you find a lot of these kind of demolished. And I like that these postcards keep the exteriors of these neon beauties alive. And they're also a really, really great way to go hunt down some of these old motels and see if they're still there and the neons still available to be seen. So I've started buying these neon postcards from my area when I can, and that's a pretty fabulous one. So I think we're going to put this in. Oh, this could go in vintage neon, but we also have a, let's see, yeah, vintage hotel. So I'm going to put that in the vintage hotel category for now. I know, I don't get tired of these. They're just so fun to see. Here's another one. Look at the fabulous little chevrons. This is the Hotel Dimmitt in Silver Springs in Ocala. I don't know if this is still there, but next time I'm in the area, I'm definitely going to go look because that is fabulous. So I did purchase that one. And I also purchased these. Now, this is pretty cool. I live about 45 minutes from St. Augustine, so it's pretty easy for me to go down. And when I'm down in the city, I pass by the fort all the time, and I pass by this little stretch of road. And I had no idea this is what it looked like back in 1971. So this building is no longer a hotel. Well, actually, wait a second. Yes, part of this is a hotel, but the other part is a restaurant now. So that's kind of cool to see. So this is from 1971, and that's going to go in our vintage motels. And then this one is also one from Florida that I just loved because it had the starburst at the top, the High Seas Motel. And this is from Daytona Beach. And I'm not very far from Daytona Beach, and I'm due for a trip down that way. So when I do, I really, really want to visit this place and see if it's still there, because a lot of these have the address, yes, on the back, so you can just go see. So I would like to see if that's still there. And what's cool about Daytona is there is a museum that has the collection of the man that invented the Coca-Cola contour bottle. He spent his life collecting early Americana items as well as Coca-Cola things. So they, next to the Coke Museum, have the only other contour prototype, but they also have the world's largest collection of early American type stuff as well as advertising and such. So that's why I want to go to Daytona, because I think that would be really cool to see that. LaDonna says, I have so many of those. I'm thinking of selling them on Vamp. Ooh, I would love, love, love to see some of those. Just heard from your cousin in Tampa and great aunt in Sarasota. They're getting hammered. Well, I'm glad they're okay, LaDonna. That's good to know. The storm surge is supposed to get pretty high there, so I'm thinking about them. We here are very lucky to just get some hard wind and rain. I think our highest wind speed will be about 60 miles an hour, but I know Tampa's a lot worse. So I'm thinking of them. So this is going in our postcard stack. That's vintage hotels. So that's going there. Ooh, greetings from Nashville, Tennessee. Now this is cool. This will be a cityscape one. This was sent to CHL Stukenbroker. So Ken, this was a grandma postcard. And it says George. Oh, yes, that's probably a G. Yes, it's a G, but it's a weird G. It says, hello, George. It's wonderful, but I am hot. I am hot and flying my stay here. It's duck weather. Okay. Miss you so awfully much right soon. Oh, that's very cool. So, Nashville, Tennessee. And that was sent to one of my grandmother's brothers, George. He's the one that worked on the Manhattan Project. All right, so that will be going in. Let's see, where do we want to put this? I think this has to go in Cityscapes because it fits the vibe. Hi, Poodle. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so we have still a lot to go through. So I'm going to kind of speed round this a little bit. Now, I do want to highlight this postcard. This is Oak Ridge, Tennessee. This is the complex where my grandmother's brother, who I just mentioned, George, worked on the Manhattan Project, aka the atomic bomb. And somewhere in here, there is a postcard where George drew an arrow to the building he worked in, which is very cool. So one of these postcards has this, but this is a fascinating piece for me of family history. And I would really love to find the other postcard, which I know it's in the stack. It's not lost, but that's pretty cool. So that's going to go in, has to go in Cityscapes because I really just don't have another postcard for it. This is the Washington Bridge in New York City. This postcard was one of Grandma's as well. It was not written on, but that's pretty cool. And then another favorite of mine is the Wall Street with Sub-Treasury Building in New York City. This was a Grandma postcard, but look how deco that looks. Isn't this cool? I love that. Okay. Oh, now this postcard I bought myself. This is the Winnie V Motel. And I love the coloring of the fountain, but look at that neon sign. So this is fun. This was dated 1954. So that's pretty cool. Where is this from? Oh, Yulee, Florida. So I don't know if this is still there, but again, I'm not too far from Yulee. So if I'm ever in the area, I could type in this address and drive by and see if it's there. It may not be, but it would be very cool. Vintage hotels. That will go in. Okay, we've got the U.S. Post Office and Customs House in St. Paul, Minnesota. This was dated 1942. And this was sent to a Francis somebody in St. Charles, Missouri. So this was sent to 803 North 5th Street. That was where my grandmother lived. So I don't know who they had staying with them. It must have been at one point. But it says, Dearest Francie, just a note to let you know that, I can't read what this says. This is a practice of a picture of the building where I work. Oh, that's interesting. And the room, I have something typing today I like and read well. Be sure to let me hear all about your and write back soon. Love, Hegel? Okay. Well, that's very interesting. So this is where this came from. I'm going to have to ask Grandma about that. Francis. I don't know. That is going in Cityscapes as well. And then we have the Library of Congress and the Annex out of Washington, D.C. That was not written on, but that was a Grandma postcard, so that will go in Cityscapes. Oh, we have another Nashville one, also for Cityscapes. There's two of those. Department of Commerce building in Washington, D.C. Oh my gosh, look at these cars. Aren't they fabulous? That will go in Cityscapes. This was another Grandma one. And then we have the U.S. Treasury building. Look at the buses. The imagery on here, I'm telling you, is everything. So these were all Grandma's, and they'll go in our little Cityscapes. Cityscapes is getting very big, this category. Light Street and Wares building in Baltimore. That was a Grandma postcard as well. And then we have the Arena in St. Louis. Oh, very cool. Now, I'm not sure the Arena is, I think it's something else now. Apparently don't know my St. Louis very well. But that is cool. So that will go in Cityscapes as well. I love that building. This one's got some awesome cars on it. It's the new Viaduct and Skyline in Baltimore, Maryland. I love how it says the new Viaduct and Skyline. So you could probably date this postcard if you could figure out when that was made. And then it doesn't have anything on the back, but that's kind of cool. And then this is the General View and Rainbow Bridge in Niagara Falls. Look at the little boat. That is so cool. So that's another fabulous grandma postcard. I know. I'm glad she saved all of these. Hi, a repurposed life with Laura. Oh, the arena has been torn down and is now a business complex. We call it the Old Red Barn. Thanks, Laura. Yeah, I have family up in St. Louis, and I was just there, but I never paid attention to that building. American Falls, Niagara Falls. That's another one. That's beautiful. Now, I think that I'm going to put this one in florals. Same with this one, because I think it's while it's not necessarily floral, it is nature. So now, now I tell you, this needs to go in nature and animals. So not florals. It does have a dedicated category. And I think this one can also go in nature. And then this one we'll put in the cityscapes. So that will go there. This is the Hotel Commodore. And this one's interesting because it's a different kind of, see how it's shiny? It almost looks like a modern postcard, but it is not. And this one I think is fabulous. And it features the Chrysler Building, which you don't see a lot of. And I do have some wonderful pieces from the Hotel Commodore, some luggage labels. They're absolutely beautiful. They're deco. So very famous Hotel Commodore. So that will go in our vintage hotel category. And then this will for sure go in florals. We've got this birthday greeting. Now, I bought this a long time ago, and I just loved it because I thought the penmanship was beautiful. It says, "These greetings true I send to you for a bright and happy birthday." Look how fabulous that is. This was sent to a Mr. E. and something Burgess in North Rose, New York. Rechecked home, all right, but very tired, but real tired. Feel better today, found every something all right. Yours lovingly, Marcel. So that is very cool. This was sent in 1911. 1911, this beautiful postcard was sent. Look at the colors on that, and the embossing is just spectacular. So this is going to go in our florals category. And then, oh, this is a fabulous postcard. Brooklyn Academy of Music in Lafayette Street. And I can see why my grandma probably would have collected this postcard on one of her trips there, is because she loved music, was a music teacher. She actually graduated from in St. Charles. She graduated from a school where she learned music, and my brain suddenly is, I've been there. It's terrible blanking out on the name. But she went to school with Taylor Swift's grandmother, Marjorie Mullenkamp, who was a coloratura. She could trill her voice. And there's pictures of my grandma in the yearbook with Taylor Swift's grandmother and choral, what am I saying? In choir class or choir club or whatever they were in, which is very cool. So I can see why grandma probably had this postcard, which is very cool. So this is going in cityscapes, I think. Yeah, that has to go in cityscapes. This will also go, I think, in our outdoors category. It's the Cathedral of Oaks. And this is beautiful, the coloring. And this is from Biloxi, Mississippi, where Jimmy Buffett was from, I think. Or, wait. Suddenly my mind has just like erased itself, because I don't think that's right. Buffett was from Mobile, Alabama, but he wrote songs about Biloxi. I don't know what the heck is wrong with me. But this was sent from Mobile, Alabama. Very cool little postcard grandma had. This was sent to George Stukenbroker. So that's kind of a cool postcard. So we'll put this in florals. So that will go there. And then, oh, we've got this one. This is an Easter postcard. I recently picked this up and I just thought the coloring was beautiful. This foil Easter egg. This was sent to Franny Vol, and I don't know where, but this is a really nice postcard. So this will go in our little Easter stash, which actually we have quite a few Easter postcards. Oh, I love this. This is of the panda, the giant panda zoo, the giant panda in the St. Louis Zoo in Missouri, which is so, so cool. So we love the pandas. This was sent to Grandma Beverly Stukenbroker. And again, they just must have known where to send these because the town must have been small. But St. Charles, Missouri, no actual address. Now, I cannot read this because the pencil is very light, but here's the postcard. So we'll put this in nature and animals. This could also, see now this postcard could go in nature and animals, but it can also go in our cityscapes because it's the skyline of Penn Valley, Kansas City, Missouri. And this was sent to Beverly Stukenbroker, so my grandma. Let's see what it says. Something LA in Miles Lots. This pencil is really hard to read, so I don't know what this says, but this is a very cool postcard. I love the imagery on it, so I think this can go in cityscapes, but it does sort of have a floral theme. So if you guys think I should change, let me know. Oh, this one's cool. This is Christmas time at the Higbee Company in Cleveland, Ohio, and I don't know how this ended up in Grandma's collection, but it's beautiful. And can you imagine going into a department store back in the day at Christmas time and all those lighted cabinets, the beautiful decorations? You would probably be buying some gorgeous brooches, gloves, scarves, hats. I mean, wow. I just cannot imagine being in a department store back then. So this is going to go in our fancy interiors. And I just absolutely love that. I think that is stunning. Okay, this postcard I also bought because of the local interest. This is St. Augustine. No, I did not buy this one. That's right. This was from, it was sent to George Stukenbroker. 803 North 5th Street, St. Charles, Missouri. But I remember thinking, wow, this is cool because this is a local piece. So it says, come on down here last night. Well, periodically go down to Miami tomorrow. We'll probably go down to Miami tomorrow. I will write all the details after I get back to AA. You people write, George. So this must have been sent from my grandmother's brother, George, to his dad. So that is very cool. And it's a St. Augustine piece, which is local. This is going to go at nighttime because of the moon. Here's the postcard. Oh, this is so cool. So this was sent from my grandmother's brother, George, who worked on the atomic bomb. And there's his handwriting. Here is where I work. And there's an arrow to the building in which he worked. Oh, that is just so special. Also sent to my great-grandfather, George, my grandma's dad. It says, Monday, here all okay. Night, writing about 2:30. Let's see, I hope I can read this. Traffic was very heavy. Lots of Sunday afternoon drivers. Thus, the traffic was slow. We stopped about an hour in Cladberry to let Linda run around a little bit. Oh, wow. Okay, so George, each of the brothers had 3 kids. And Linda was George's brother. I call her my cousin Linda. She lives out in Houston. And I got to meet her for the first time. Well, I mean, she probably saw me when I was young, but I got to meet her the first time a couple years ago. And that was really, really such a treat. She's lovely. So this is cool. So George is writing when Linda is little and she had to run around. It says, "Thanks so very much a well for a swell visit and all the things you gave us. Marge," that was George's wife, "Marge said she liked something I can't read. There's pencil smear. Just planning as coming back to Missouri soon was oh to Oregon soon was much a letdown. George." What an amazing postcard. This is so cool. This is just a piece of incredible family history. This one I think I'm going to separate from the bunch because I want to do something special with it. So it's going to go in a special pile because I knew that one was in there. I just wanted to know where it was. That's cool. Poodle says, "I have a postcard from my relative in 1896. It says his banknote is overdue." Oh my gosh, Poodle, what a cool treasure that is. That is amazing. Oh, I love this. This is the main street in Joplin, Missouri. And look at the Hotel Connor. Oh, that is just such a cool postcard. And the Fox, I think every major city probably had a Fox theater somewhere because I know St. Louis has the fabulous Fox. So this was not written on. This was one of Grandma's. So it is going to go in the, I think, Cityscape pile. Although I might put it in neon because of the neon signs. So we'll see where that one ends up. Oh, this is a cool one. I purchased this online because I absolutely love Cream Eclipse brand items. This is from France, actually. It came all the way from France. It was never written on, but this is the Cream Eclipse car. I'm guessing this would have carried the shoe polish, and I think this one's absolutely incredible. This is one of my very, very favorite postcards that I've bought because of the Cream Eclipse. This one may need to go in a special pile because I want to put it in some flat lay photographs. So, hi Maria. So this one is going to go specially with that other postcard because it doesn't have a good category anyway. Ooh, this is pretty. This will go in florals. This is the Buena Vista Drive entering Riverside, California. And I think Poodle said one time when I used this postcard that this was near her. It's from 1947. It was sent to a Mrs. Dora Stukenbroker in Owensville, Missouri. Now, I think, so there's a Dora Loeb, and I'm wondering if that was her married name, and then she married a Stukenbroker, so then that became her married name. But there's an Anna Dora Loeb. And the reason I know that is because that was on my grandma's side. I was named after my great-grandmother on my grandfather's side. That was his mom, Anna. She was the painter, the world traveler. So I was named after her. But there was another Anna that when I was going through some family history that I was like, oh, that's very cool. So I have to figure that out if this is Anna Dora. I don't know if that is her, but if it is, this is cool. 1941, it says, "We are all okay. Still something." I wish I could read these better. Went to something Monday. It was at where the sticks were on court at Riverside yesterday. May go again today. I just cannot read what that says. But that was written by Fred. And Fred, I think Fred was one of my great-grandfather's brothers, I think. He was not the ones with the dogs. There's one that had dogs. I have to ask Mom. Anyway, this is a very cool postcard. Old Hadley Vintage. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so this is going to go in florals, I think, because it kind of has that feel. Oh, I love this one. I bought this just somewhere at an antique mall. It says, "Will you be my beau?" Gosh, that was loud outside. And I just love the imagery on this. This is going in my Victorian pile. It was not written on, but look at the postcard. Isn't that beautiful up there? Oh, I love it. Okay, so that's going in Victorian. Then we have the Stevens overlooking Lake Michigan, Chicago. What a cool postcard. So that's in honor of Angela. That will go in Cityscapes. It was also not written on. Oh, I bought this postcard. This is so cool. This is the United Electric Company. Now, this is in Jacksonville, Florida, and I've driven by this building, I don't know how many times growing up on the way to the grocery store, and I never really noticed it. And then finally, one day as an adult, now that I'm all into vintage and loving signs, I said, oh my gosh, this building is fabulous. It has a giant lightning bolt on it. I must pull over and take a picture. So here I am, like a crazy person, taking a photo of this building when the owners, well, I don't know if they're the owners, but they were the people inside the electric company that were sitting at the front desk, came out and they're like, what are you doing? Can we help you? And I'm like, yeah, actually, I just really love your sign. And they kind of look perplexed. And I'm like, you don't understand. I have a vintage postcard with your image on it. And the lady kind of looked confused. It was a whole thing. And I explained that I collect vintage and I sell vintage. And, I just love the historic stuff around Jacksonville and signs. And she eventually understood, but at first was very confused what a woman in the middle of the afternoon was doing, photographing their building. But I was like, look, it's the postcard I have. And of course, I liked the postcard because it had the giant lightning bolt on it. So this is a cool postcard. It's a electric company showroom of light. And it is such a mid-century building. I mean, this is just so cool. So yeah, this is going to go... Okay, it's not Cityscapes. I think it... I'm going to put this in neon because I just think that kind of works. I think it goes there. Let's see. Love that card. You've shown that with a brooch before, I think. Yes, I have. I know I've used that card. Yeah, that's a very cool postcard. Let's see. Oh, I have not. I'm so I've not heard from her, but I did just send her a package. But that is cool. All right, let's see. Wayside Park in Pensacola, Florida. Now this one, I think I had this before Grandma. Someone sent this to me, but this is fabulous. It's palm trees with all the cars, and it's just wonderful. So I'm going to put this in florals because I think that's kind of where, or it could go in nature. Yeah, we'll put that in nature. And then this one is also probably destined for nature. It's of the Greyhound bus serving Jacksonville, Florida. And someone did send me this postcard, and it is fabulous. So that is going in that nature category. And then this one is, oh yeah, the St. James building. It's Cohen's. And I bought this. This is in Jacksonville, Florida. So it's a local piece to me. And look at the cars in the front. This building is absolutely beautiful. It is still downtown. And this, let's see, is this City Hall now? Well, City Hall was a hotel. Where is this located? Does it say? It says it covers an entire city block. Oh, this was manufactured by the Duval News Company. That's interesting. So, yeah, I'll have to research this, but this building is still here. It has been turned into something, but that's very cool. So this is going to go, I think, in Cityscapes. And then this is one of my grandmother's. It's the buddy system for the Girl Scouts of the greater St. Louis area. And I think it is so fun. This is sent from 1951 to my grandmother. And at this time, I think this person might have been someone that she tutored or mentored in music. It says, hi, Beverly. How's everything in St. Charles? Everything at Camp Cedar Lodge is fine. Donna and I are really having fun. We are writing to almost everyone. We ate swimming, cooking, cooking out, and everything else. Well, I'll see you Tuesday at my lesson. Okay, so yes, it's a music lesson. So this person took music lessons from my grandmother, which she did as kind of a side hustle, I believe. Let's see, might have been while she was in school. Yeah, so that's a pretty cool postcard. We'll put this in nature, I think, because I don't really have another good category for it. Yes, thank you, Jeffrey. We are doing just fine here. It's a little bit rainy and windy outside, but nothing too terrible. We're supposed to get nor'easter conditions. We're not getting a direct hit, but I did bring on all my furniture, and I'm just kind of hunkered down here, and it's a perfect day to do postcards. So here we are. I am thinking about all of our friends, though, in other areas. I've got a friend that's got family in Tampa, so we're all just really holding hope that things will be okay there. Okay. Oh, that's fabulous. My grandmother taught piano on the side. That's very cool, Poodle. That is so neat. Okay, greetings from California. I love this postcard. It will definitely go in florals. And just look at the sides with the palm trees. And I mean, it's beautiful. And then again, that little palm tree on the back. This is not postmarked, but it was one of Grandma's. And then we have this postcard here, which is of the Tribune passenger steamship of Florida. The coloring on this is absolutely magnificent. This was sent to my great-grandparents, and I'm not sure what it's from, who it's from, but this is a cool postcard. Now this one, again, I'm guessing this would have to go in nature. There's really not. So we have nature, florals, Christmas, Easter, vintage hotels, St. Patrick's Day, fancy interiors, Victorian, Valentine's Day, 4th of July, vintage neon, nighttime, New Year's Eve, and cityscapes. So I kind of think this has to go in nature because there really isn't another place for it. So I'm going to put it there. Oh, this one I bought as well because I just love the imagery. I might have to, I mean, this is a cityscape postcard, but it's kind of neon in design. So it may go in the neon, but it's Hollywood Boulevard. I mean, how cool is that Coca-Cola sign? This is just fabulous. And it was not written on, but I just love this. So I think I will put this in neon just for the fact that it kind of has some neon signs. Hi, Ann J. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we have two of the same postcard here from the YMCA Hotel in Chicago, Illinois. And I love that it has a little corrugated edges. I know that growing up, I used to have scissors that could make this kind of fun edge. And these were not written on, but I think we'll put that in our hotel category, vintage hotels. And then this is very cool. We've got two postcards of the RCA building in New York, which is now Rockefeller Center. And there's this one here, skyscrapers from the East River, New York. Looks like there's the Empire State Building. Can't quite tell, but I think that's it. That's a really cool postcard. So those will go in cityscapes. And then look at this one, the Brooklyn Bridge and skyline in New York City. The coloring on that. Oh, that's amazing. This one may have to go. I love all my postcards, but this one may have to go in a special place because it's just too fabulous. I might want to look at this one more often. So I think I'm putting that in my special pile. Let's see. Production and research plant, okay, in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. So here's some more family history from my grandmother's brother, George. And then here's the administration building, also in Oak Ridge, Tennessee. So I think while these could go in cityscapes, well, I think they kind of do belong maybe in cityscapes because they are nature-y with the trees, nature-esque. But I kind of think, yeah, I think they need to go in cityscapes. What do you guys think? Okay, here's a bird's eye view of downtown Louisville, Kentucky at the Presbyterian Theological Seminary. Now, this is cool, and thank goodness it's actually typed. I can read it. This was sent in 1952 to my great-grandfather, George. It says, thanks for invitation, but had to postpone trip to St. Louis. Hope to see you later. With Cass now, as regards on going to Alexandria. Regards, JW. I don't know who JW is, but look how they had to correct postpone. That was a typing mishap. That is so cool. This is a great postcard. That will be going in Cityscapes. And gosh, Cityscapes has got a huge pile. Okay, this one will also, I think, go in neon. I purchased this myself. This is of the Brown Derby in California, the famous Brown Derby. So this is very cool. I think they had several locations because there was the Brown Derby that had the big round thing, and then this one I think just is the other location. But this is cool, and I love the linen. So that's gonna go, well, now see, this could go in neon or nighttime. I was kind of thinking neon, but it could go in nighttime. So now what do we think about that? This is the struggle. Hi, Lena. Welcome. Okay, let's see. Hotel Shanks in Cookeville, Tennessee. I love this because you've got the cars all lined up on the outside. So this will go with our vintage hotels, but I think that's very cool. And then we have Baltimore, Maryland. Greetings from Baltimore. Just these are the classic postcards. When I think of postcards, I think of postcards like this. So that will be going in our Cityscapes. And you're wondering what Katie's new neighbors have been doing. Oh, yes, I wonder that too. So far, I have not heard them, but last night I got a delivery of some things that I had realized I didn't order when I was picking up my groceries at the store the other day, and I thought, oh, with the storm coming, I really need to get some extra paper towels because I don't have that, and I just, there's a couple of things I should get, so I put in a grocery order, I order them, and the guy cannot find my apartment. And I had to message in the little chat that they have for the delivery. I said, oh, all you have to do is go to this floor and find the person that has the Target shopping cart outside their door. And I said, look, this is not me. I don't know why this is here, but that's a good landmark for, finding my apartment. Here's this Target shopping cart randomly in the hall. So I tell the whole story on my podcast, The Weekly Speakeasy with Jeffrey. If you missed that, we've been doing a podcast and it's been fun. And I shared the story. But the shopping cart is still there. I have no idea why. My neighbors, I think they speak German, but I'm not sure. They constantly yell all the time. And they yell in German. And it is just bonkers. But today they've been quiet. I mean, when I'm in my apartment, I don't hear them. It's only like when I'm out in the hall and having to deal with the population out in the world, like going up and down the elevator, coming in, and I see them. So, there they are. But yeah, that's an interesting adventure. So let me see. I shared this on the podcast, but I do have a picture, because if you don't take a picture of it, it didn't happen. So yesterday, I took a picture of the shopping cart because I literally was so confused. I was like, why is this here? So here's the shopping cart next to an apartment that still has a Christmas tree up, which has been up for about half a year. And I never see them go in and out of their apartments. I don't know who they are, but the shopping cart, yeah, it's still there, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, they were all shouting in German, and I have no idea how this got into the apartment. I don't know if they wheeled this. I can't imagine they put it in their SUV. That is strange. I don't know. I just keep to myself because I don't want to get in it. But they're interesting humans, to say the least. And the guy, he's not particularly friendly. Okay, here's the Des Moines, Iowa building in Des Moines, Iowa. And it is very cool. It looks kind of short and squatty, which is hilarious in this postcard, but it's cool. It's very deco. Then you've got those fabulous cars out front. So, Des Moines, Iowa building in Des Moines, Iowa. And that's all I know because nobody wrote anything on the back of this postcard. So we'll put this in cityscapes. That's what it will live. This postcard I got because I just loved it. It is the postcard from the Jacksonville beaches. And I think, yeah, what I loved about this is there's an image of the old boardwalk. And Jacksonville Beach used to have a pretty big boardwalk with a roller coaster, little Ferris wheel type thing, and a whole bunch of carnival games and such. And this is very cool little piece of Jacksonville Beach history. Then a storm came, wiped all that away, and now, we've just got the beach and buildings and things like that. But that is a cool postcard. So I think this will have to go in our nature stack. And then this is one of Grandma's postcards. It's very, 1980s, 1990s to me, but it's from a Kodachrome film, and it is of the New York City skyline at night. So we will put this in our nighttime, and it was not written on. This is also a great nighttime image of the Hollywood Bowl in Hollywood, California, with Symphony Under the Stars. And this was sent to my great-grandfather. It says, "Greetings and best wishes from Mr. and Mrs. Clarence Milter. I don't know who that is, but this was sent in 1950 out of Venice Beach, California. So very cool. So that will go in nighttime as well. Then we've got our Main Street. I'm going to put this in neon because there's a lot of neon signs looking north on Buffalo, New York. So that's very cool. Look at all the neon signs. Isn't that cool? This was also sent to my great-grandparents, and it says Sunday for... we rented a room at the Something Venture from midday. We're getting along okay. Miss Maury? Miss something? I don't know what this says, but there it is. And I think this is fabulous. So it will go in our vintage neon stack, I think. Don't take my Kodachrome. Yes. Oh, this is a great one for 4th of July. Old Glory with Washington, D.C. in the background. Capitol building there. Not written on. This was one of Grandma's. But we'll put this in our 4th of July stack. Finally, some other categories getting some love. This one will go also in florals. And this is of the blossoming flowers in California. And we'll add this to our nature. Let's see. This is florals. I think this will go in nature. And this is of the Niagara Falls Prospect Point. Very beautiful linen postcard. And then this one I love and I've used a lot. It's just beautiful. The cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C. Isn't that a lovely postcard? Not written on, but this was one of Grandma's. So we'll stick that in there. And then we'll also stick this with our, I'm guessing, florals. It's the Union Pacific Steamliner, the city of Los Angeles, crossing the desert. This was sent also to Owensville. It says Friday night, it is Caroline. And we've been traveling for 2 days. It is high fog and chilly. We have fine in the something. Oh, I just cannot. It gets tinier and tinier, and unfortunately, I can't read what that says. But if you guys can, 1944. So this is this postcard. I think this is going to go into, well, I don't know, florals maybe because of the flowers. What do you guys think? Florals? That's kind of where I'm thinking, but it could go into nature too. I'm glad you like these, Jeffrey. These are really beautiful postcards. I'm glad we have them. And I mean, I feel like we've barely made a dent in these, Beautiful Pepper Tree Drive in California. This was also sent to Miss Doris Stukenbroker. Look at that in 1941. It says we are all leaving for something this morning. We are all high for. That can't be right. High this morning. Cannot be what I'm reading on this. High for this morning. Something. It is wet here and takes us about 6 hours to drive. We have found from something lure. I can't read what that says, but these are very cool little pieces, looks into people's lives. Yeah, so this can go into the nature category. And this one, oh, this is pretty. This is the Santa Barbara, California. And this says, Dear Bev, I just wish I could read this. Something stores. Clarence, maybe? Something Clarence, but it's a street in Spain, in Santa Barbara, California. I think this could go in nature, don't you think? I mean, it is city, but look at or it could go in florals. So what are we thinking here, guys? I'm thinking florals, maybe, but it also is sort of naturey. I always look for the holiday ones, like most folks, but it's nice to appreciate. Yes, it is all the other postcards, and I do have some holiday ones. Oh, this is cool. This is from Owensville, Missouri. I didn't know that we had an Owensville postcard where we had family, and look at that man in the hat. Isn't that fabulous? From 1942. Dear Beverly, sorry I couldn't to St. Charles, couldn't come to St. Charles during the holidays, but it was impossible. I had a nice Christmas. Did you? Write and tell me all about the news down there. Your friend, Mel Maydeen. So Maydeen, I think, was someone Grandma played with when she visited Owensville, Missouri. And I remember that Grandma said that her mom would make dresses out of flour sacks. And the flour companies got pretty smart, and they would start designing these beautiful designs on the flour sacks so that mothers could make dresses for their children. And Grandma said that she and a friend, I think it was a friend or maybe it was a cousin, would not necessarily fight, but they would kind of decide which floral pattern of the flour sacks they were going to get, meaning which one was their favorite. So I remember that, and I don't know if Maydeen was that person or not, but I will ask her. Owensville, Missouri. Very, very cool. So I think this has to go in nature and animals because it has a horse. And actually, I did not know I had that postcard. I have been looking for a postcard to show the bridal rosettes on because that one has a horse. So that's very timely and perfect. Fountain and patio area in historic Adobo, Santa Barbara. So this was just sent from, well, I don't know. Could you read what that says? I have no idea. It says something menu. Dear Bev, that has got to be the shortest message ever. I think we're going to put that in florals. But it could go in nature too. But I think that's kind of flower-esque. Hi, Smalls. Yes, when companies actually cared about their customers, that's true. They did have fabulous patterns. And also, a lot of not a lot, I should say, some of the depression glass that you'll find out there. I have a uranium cake plate that belonged to my great-grandmother, and it is the Sunflower pattern by Jeanette Glass Company. They actually gave that away in sacks of flour just to help people out. I mean, crazy to think that there was a time that people did that. Okay, this is from Grand Junction, Michigan, and I think this has to go in the nature category. I'm not going to try to read that because I just can't, but if you guys want to, you can. This was sent to my grandparents in St. Charles, Missouri, 1940. think that will go in our nature category. Also, this one will follow up in nature. Look at the coloring on this of Niagara Falls. That's beautiful. And then we have this one. Oh, wow. Floral gardens. So, yeah, this definitely, I mean, this could be nature, but it has to go in the floral category. Oh, here comes the wind. I can hear it now. It's loud. Floral Dora Stukenbroker in Owensville, Missouri. So that's a cool postcard. But with the floral, I think it needs to go in the floral category. Oh, this one I bought because I thought it was cute. It's a little Valentine's Day postcard. And it says, a Valentine message. This is just a word of greeting on a postal card you'll see. Just a whispered I remember. Will you send the same to me? How cute is that? So this will go into our Valentine's Day. And that's our first Valentine's Day card. I have a couple of pictures and a honey label that somebody sent me that I've been using, not with necessarily their postcards, but they do look good with the brooches. So I think, I don't know what to do with these. Maybe I need to put them in another category. I think I'll move this into my ephemera stash, but these are good for the brooches, so that will go separately. Then we've got the Abraham Lincoln home in Springfield, Illinois. I think that will go with the nature postcards. And then this one's cool. This is a busy person's correspondence card. I don't know if you guys have ever seen anything like this. I had not until Grandma had these postcards, but it says, hello, pal, folks, chum, sugar, hubby, or wifey. So you can check the little box next to what you want it to be. Then it says, this place is quiet, ideal, nothing extra, the best on the map, noisy or grand. The weather is warm, wet, pleasant, dreary, cool, or dry. The folks are nice, quiet, entertaining, full of pep, silly, or noisy. That would be my neighbors. I'm feeling fine, bum, blue, very lonesome, well, sick, or happy. I spend my time motoring, hiking, boating, fishing, reading, loafing, sightseeing, or borrowing money. I need money, sleep, rest, you, a good job, or $1 million. We will see you soon, later, next week, on, and you can write in a particular date. Give my regards to Mom, Dad, the children, my chums, or just everybody. This is such a fun little postcard. I love this. This will go in cityscapes, but this one I really love. That's a fun one. Yes. Oh, your grandparents had those. That's awesome, Adam. Yeah, bring back the term chum. I like the term chum. Okay, so we got another Hotel Commodore. So we'll put that with our vintage hotels. I don't know why there are double of these. I guess somehow Grandma ended up getting two. Here's the Hotel Carrillo in Santa Barbara, California. I love the cars out front on these. And then this was sent to Clarice, or from Clarice, or something was written on the back. So we'll put this in our vintage hotels. And then we've got, another fabulous hotel, the Curtis Hotel in Minneapolis, the largest in the upper Midwest. Sent to my grandmother as well back in 1952. So this is a cool one, very deco-y, but I mean, it is from the 50s. But the postcard to me with those stripes are just sort of deco. So that will go in the hotel category. And then I love this one. We'll put this with St. Pat's Day. I bought this just because I liked it. It says, good luck, 1907. Yeah, 1907. And it was sent in 1907 to a John Sturham out of, let's say Newark. I think so. But anyway, this is a fantastic little 1907 good luck postcard. And I love the shamrocks and the little horseshoes and the gold. And is that like a little bursty? Yeah, a little starburst, shooting starburst. Oh, that's cool. So yeah, that's going to go, that'll be our first one actually in the St. Pat's category. And then I bought this myself because I love St. Augustine history, kind of all the places around me. And this is King Street in St. Augustine. And this was an old Woolworths store. So you can see the Woolworths now down in St. Augustine. Now this building still exists and it has the Woolworths handles, the door pushes. And I was on a trolley tour, which I don't often take because I practically live in St. Augustine. I mean, I don't really, but I've been there for so long that, you don't ever think about playing tourist for a day. And one afternoon I was down there and it was kind of hot. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take a trolley tour. And I'm so glad I did because they pointed out things I had never noticed before. One of which was the old door pushes on what was a Woolworths building. So, of course, I had to go find a postcard that had the Woolworths on it. So I thought that was very cool. So yeah, that will go in our, well, actually I'm going to put that on Animals and Nature because guess what? It has a horse. And I've been looking for horse postcards. Night Smalls. So yes, that's exactly why I needed to get these postcards organized. Okay, my lights are dying, so I'm going to plug this light in over here so it can charge because the other light's now charged up. Okay, we still have quite a few to go, so I am speed rounding through these. We have the RCA building in Rockefeller Center. This was one of America's tallest buildings. It was written on the back of this, but I don't know who it was sent to, but it was one of Grandma's. So that's going to go in Cityscapes. I love this of the bears. The bears in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Isn't that a cute one? So this one was never sent, but it has a 1-cent stamp on it. So that's cool. So we'll put that in Animals and Nature. This one I might also put in neon, just because of the neon signs. But it's Central Avenue looking south from Phoenix, Arizona. So I think because of the neon, I will put it there. It is going to George Stukenbroker. So my great-grandpa, 1944. That's pretty cool. So we'll put that in neon. And then we have the daily scene at Santa Monica Beach, California. That's pretty cool. This one has something on it, but I don't know what it is. So this one we'll put in our nature category. And this one will also go in our nature category. This is in honor of Nick. Scenes from Lookout Mountain. He lives in Chattanooga. And that is the Incline Railway. So that's very cool. Oh, I love this. Now, I have no idea why there is a cherub and a rooster on this New Year's postcard, but I did purchase this because I thought the champagne bottle shooting lock and florals was very cool, and the little sun ray in the corner. So this one's random but fun. And also, why does he have like a Grim Reaper, like whatever those things are called, where he's like whacking down corn? That is very random. And then he's got an hourglass. Okay, some of these older postcards just don't make sense to me, but that's okay. So this is from 1911. It says this side may be used for communication, and this address only to the writer, only to be written here on the back. Yeah. So this is interesting, this postcard. I don't quite know what's going on. And then he's got arrows in the back. He's some sort of a cupid or a cherub or something. But that's interesting. If these were large prints, I bet they would be expensive. You bet. I bet they would be. These postcards are fantastic. What a great idea well, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it, Laura. Yeah, maybe to send away the old year. Yeah, that's possibly the reason, but that very interesting postcard. Well, that will go for sure in our New Year's stack. Oh, I bought these next couple of postcards because they are of Jacksonville. And this one's really cool. This is of the Main Street Bridge. Now, this doesn't look like a whole lot. I mean, you've got the cool cars and the cityscape downtown, but what's cool to me about this is notice the light posts. Can you see the little finial on top of the light posts? Well, that finial, I don't have that one in particular. I don't know which one mine is, but the company that took this these lampposts down in like 1980 is a company here that's still in business, Burkhalter Wrecking Company. They have all kinds of cool salvage from all over the city. And I bought the tippy top of one of these lampposts, and it is now in my bedroom. So this postcard is cool because I have an image that has the lamppost that has my little finial. So that is pretty cool. So I love this. This will go in cityscapes. We also have actually, I might hold this one off to the side so I can do some photographing of it before I file it away. This one's cool. This one is of the Embers restaurant from 1966. This is a Jacksonville thing. Now I'm going to show you the building in this postcard. This building, which is now the JEA building, is where the Embers restaurant was located. So it's this top building here, and it's a rotating restaurant. It was the first of its kind in Jacksonville, and I don't know how long it survived, but they say this is the world's largest revolving restaurant. I'm not sure if that's true because, of course, I think at that time there would have been the revolving restaurant on top of the Space Needle in Seattle, but I don't know. I mean, there were other revolving restaurants. There's one in Atlanta. There's one in, I've been to the one in Atlanta, and I've been to the one in the Strat, the top of the Strat. It's called On Top of the World, and I don't know how long that's been there in Vegas. So I don't know if this was the largest, but it says that it was in the Universal Marion building, which I think was an insurance company. So that is kind of cool. So I got that as a little Jacksonville history, and then this shows it's overlooking Hemming Park. And that's that building I was showing you earlier, the St. James. Yes, yeah, the St. James is City Hall, and it was a hotel, so I was right. And then they had shops underneath, and then there's the building in the back, which is now the Jacksonville, kind of boring, JEA, the Electrical Authority. But yeah, that's cool. So that will go in Cityscapes, little Jacksonville history. This is also Jacksonville history I purchased. It is the Thunderbird Motel. And this is located near the Arlington Expressway. I don't think this building still exists, but I think this is very cool, this Thunderbird Motel. So this will go in vintage neon. And then this will also, I kind of think I'll put this in neon too because of the signs. I got this of Jacksonville. So this shows Jacksonville on Adams Street, what it would have been like probably back in 1950. I would imagine, which is kind of cool because it doesn't look like that now. Hi, Cindy. So that is going in neon. Welcome, welcome. As a child, I wanted to climb up and take a finial. That does not sound weird to me, Poodle. It seems like something that I would do because I always loved that kind of stuff. Yeah, I know they couldn't have been comfortable, Adam. I agree. Oh, this will go in nature and animals feeding time at Marine Studios, Marineland, Florida, which is something Grandma had. So this was one of her postcards. So put that in animals and nature. And then here's another view of the Main Street Bridge in Jacksonville. And the city skyline looks so much different than it did in this postcard. Oh, hang on a second. I'm looking at something. This is the Roosevelt Hotel. Okay, so I can't see it in this image, but the panels that I just bought from the wrecking company that's in my living room that light up, that are on the Speakeasy podcast, they came from a hotel, not the Roosevelt, but they came from the Mayflower Hotel, which was the other big hotel at the time next to the Roosevelt. So I've got to find some Mayflower postcards. That's going to be my next thing, but we'll put that in Cityscapes. And then this is the St. Johns River at night. This is another image that I purchased. This was from 1948, or at least when it was postmarked, sent to someone in New York City. So we'll put that in our fabulous nighttime category. And then we've got an Easter greetings postcard. Look at this little girl and her chickens. I believe I bought this one. This was not one of my grandmother's, but I think it is fabulous. So this will go in our Easter category. I'm realizing now that I'm doing this, we do not have a lot of St. Pat's Day or Valentine's Day. So I really got to up my game. This will go also in our nighttime category. This was one of my grandmother's postcards from the Sky Drive George Washington Bridge in New York. So this will go nighttime. This was sent in 1945, and it says, planning, let me see if I can read this, planning something down here that for VE Day. Wow, what a piece of history. Very cool piece of history here, 1945. Wow. Guys, this is amazing. A claim before something in a time like this. Oh, I got to read more of this. I got to figure out what this says. VE Day. I mean, that we're talking about the war being over. This is, wow. I've used this postcard so many times. This is so cool. Okay, so this is going in our nighttime category. That is very cool. They're very dramatic. I agree. They're so cool. This postcard, I think this is of Jacksonville, isn't it? Yeah. Main Street looking south, showing Main Street Bridge in the background. So this is downtown Jacksonville, cityscape. Judging by those cars, I would probably say 50s or 60s, probably. And this does not look like this at all anymore. So this is cool. Cool piece of Jacksonville history. I bought this. I just liked it. I like local things. So we will put this in our cityscapes. And then we have New Year postcard. I bought this. Look at this little fabulous girl sitting with these bells. It seems like there's so many New Year's postcards to collect. So apparently I have a lot of them, including this one, which I also bought. I love the kid that's like poking up from the fence, although it kind of looks like his brothers, like sitting on top of him. And you've got a little dog and a family and some sort of motoring car. What's in the front here? Oh, this woman's in like a full fur coat. That's cool. So I love this. This is from 1908, and it's got an early stamp on it. So this is very cool. Let me see. All right. Let's see. I'm looking up something. Yeah, the end of World War II was 1945. I thought so. So that postcard is extra, extra special. Wow, that's a cool piece of history. Okay, this is the Colorado Street Bridge showing Hotel Vista. So this one, it does fit in the cityscapes, but I kind of am thinking that it should go with nature, maybe. I can't read the postmarked on this. It looks like July 14th, 1941. Oh, this is interesting. So this is an Industry of Agriculture for Defense stamp. I don't know if that's more rare. I wish I knew more about stamps, but this is kind of cool. And I love that people wrote, like Sunday PM. This is when I was writing this. And this person says it was a warm day. That's really important to know. It was a warm day. With fortune. I'm sorry, I just can't read this very well. But again, Fred out of Owensville, Missouri. So this was one of Grandma's. So we'll put this, I think, in nature because that kind of fits that. Oh, here's one of our Victorian ladies. My heart just goes a bumpin' when I see you pass along. I don't know what's the matter, but there's surely something wrong. I love this. I purchased this. It's from 1912. And I just thought this was a cool postcard for what we show. We have a lot of Victorian pieces when we can get them. And so I think this is great. We'll put that with our Victorian gal. Oh, here's another great floral postcard from Washington, D.C. of our cherry blossoms. Not written on, but one of Grandma's. So we'll put that in florals. And I know, I love the way people communicated. This also could go in nature. This is the National Highway Creek Bridge in Hagerstown, Maryland. So, Vinny, this one's for you. This one is from 1943. It says, "Hi there, hugs." Hugs. I don't think that would have said hugs. I don't think people were as touchy-feely back then as we are now. Something very back and you. Well, soon he will be ready for school. Something all. Do you remember something 40 question mark? Can't quite read what that says, but this was sent to my grandmother, Beverly Stukenbroker. So let's put this, I think, in nature. That goes in that one. And Bonnie, thank you. I'm so glad you like it. Jefferson Memorial, by moonlight in Washington, D.C. So that will go in our nighttime postcards. That's a beautiful image. Just the way they colored these postcards is so dreamy. Okay, here's another fabulous greetings from California in Venice Beach. This one's for you, Poodle, 1947. This was also sent to my great-grandparents in St. Charles, Missouri. And they wrote over the postmark. So let's see. It says, "Greetings from California. The most wonderful time and so much. I'm going to old something and fly to California next week." Okay, that's very incomplete, but that's a beautiful postcard. And I think that's got to go in nature and animals. Ooh, here's the YMCA hotel. Now, this could go in hotels or fancy interiors, but I kind of think it's got to go in hotels. This was sent to my grandfather, my great-grandfather, and again, it kills me that they knew that George Stukenbroker, he must have been the only one in St. Charles, Missouri, and it says buy Defense Savings Bonds and Stamps. So 1942, I believe that's when we entered the war. So, of course, they would have had this postmark. That is so interesting. I mean, we really have some pieces of history here, guys. And that is not lost on me, holding these postcards. Okay, let's see if I can read this. Dear folks. Oh, wow. Dear folks. But Clarence. See, now this makes me wonder. Because Clarence, I think, well, he was definitely related to us, but I don't know how, but he wasn't in the immediate family of my grandmother. So I'm wondering if this was a different Stukenbroker. I don't know. Anyway, it says, "Come Sunday Eve, going home Friday at 6:30 a.m., feeling good. Can't find out what is wrong with me." Oh, that's not good. Wrong with me. Will be nice though. Today was cool the other day. People were new something at 7:30 p.m. now. I will go to my room and to bed. Clarence. Okay, well, that's very cool. So I think that's got to go in vintage hotels. but that is cool. Yeah, upside down stamp, Adam. That is very interesting. Okay, I also purchased this. It's in Leesburg, Florida, this hotel. And again, I was just obsessed with vintage motels that had neon with starbursts. So this will go in the hotels. I know, Christy. I would love to go back to Texas, but it is a little far for me. But I'll get there someday. I think it meant something. Does anyone know what? Let's see what you're referring to. This is the Times Square and Paramount building at night in New York City, which is fabulous. So this will go into the nighttime category. Now, when I was in New York, I had a wonderful view outside my window of the building that's featured here, the Times building, which is now completely covered in neon signs. And the building sits empty, and they just basically use it as advertising, which is very New York and very Times Square, but that's interesting. Okay, so this will go in nighttime. Oh, and I bought this postcard because it's Union Station. And that's the inside of Union Station. This was back in, let's see when this was postmarked here. Yeah, 1906. And look here, it has a postmark from the Annex Station. So this would have gone probably underneath the hotel into the post office. But this is so neat because this is a rare view of the inside of Union Station with the wrought iron chandelier. Now, this chandelier was taken down and, of course, used, unfortunately, for the war efforts. So it is scrapped. So when you go inside of Union Station, that is no longer there, but they basically kept the interior exactly the same. So this is spectacular, this postcard. And I think this could go in many things, but I think it's got to go in fancy interiors. Oh, somehow we had an Easter greetings that went into the wrong place. There, Easter greetings, fancy interiors. Okay, this is Sunset at Laguna Beach. I think that will go into our beautiful nature. This was sent in 1944. Wow. To Mrs. Doris Stukenbroker in Owensville. So I think the family in Owensville, I believe they owned a general store. So that is going into our nature category. And, oh, the upside down stamps meant something, did they, Cindy? Now I have to research this. Poodle says, my postcard would read, forcing my dog to snuggle now. I love that. Okay, so what, everybody that's here, type in the chat, what would your postcard read? If you were going to write a postcard to somebody, what would you put on it? That's what I want to know. Okay, this will definitely go in our cityscapes. This is home of Bob Burns. This is Arkansas. This was sent back in 1942 to my great-grandparents. Yep, 803 North 5th Street, St. Charles, Missouri. Very cool. Dear friends, am only 16 miles from this place, so I thought I would write. You getting along and don't something and okay with life so far. Am detailed for KP Judy Wise tomorrow. Write more later. And then something I can't read at the bottom. But that's a fun postcard. So this will go into our cityscapes. Oh, here's a fancy interiors one. This is the Blue Room at the White House. It was not written on, but look at the font on the word postcard. Isn't that just spectacular? This is a great, great postcard. Look at the chandeliers. Oh my. All right, fancy interiors. Nancy says, upside down stamp meant that they loved you. Oh, thanks for sharing that, Nancy. I have now learned something that is so cool. So I'm going to look for this on vintage postcards. We've got a fabulous hotel postcard from 1949 that was sent to my great grandmother because it says Mrs. E. Stukenbroker, that's Esther, in St. Charles, Missouri. It says, "Dear, what lovely handwriting this person has. Oh my gosh. Dear Esther, here I am with my husband. This is a nice place. I prefer St. Louis, though. Going sightseeing in the morning, so I'll tell you all about this place when I return." And it says, Rosalind. Look at that handwriting. That is spectacular penmanship. Rosalind, hats off to you. Okay, that is going in our hotel postcard area. And then this is Yosemite National Forest. That will go with our nature. And this was sent in 1941 to Mrs. Flora Fredsheet in Owensville, Missouri. So again, more Owensville family. It says, "I'm going to set the last 3 copies in Owensville. Something for them. We are all okay. Something, I can't read. Fred." So this is Fred again. That is a cool postcard. And then he wrote along the side, which I love. So I'll go in nature. And then we got another fabulous Paramount building. Paramount Building, New York. I think this has got to go in neon because it's got the little neon sign, even though it is somewhat cityscapes. So we'll put that in neon. We're getting down to the nitty gritty, guys. We are really honing in on the stack here. This is a fun postcard little set. This is of the Library of Congress. And it's a folder. You've probably seen these. But I'll go through the images. So this is images from the Library of Congress. And they're double-sided. So you can see, all the beautiful art on the inside. And I love how these just kind of fold out. And then they've got all the what is this? World's most beautiful building. So it tells you what each of the images are. And I know that's upside down, but it's upside down so I can show you these images here. Oh, wow. Let's see. Look at that. Hang on a second. Let me try to... Yeah. Can you see that? That's beautiful. So these are all of the Library of Congress. So I think this has to go into fancy interiors, particularly with this image here. That is gorgeous. These are lovely. Okay, so let me fold this back up and then I'll show you. How did this go? Where did it come from? Here. Okay, this one's a little hard to... There we go. There's the inside, right side up. So you can take a picture of that if you want and read it later. But here is our little folder. So I think we'll put that in fancy interiors. That will go there. And then let's see what this is. Oh, the Missouri Store Co. building in Columbia, Missouri. This is a very cool postcard. I wonder, and I don't know because this is Columbia, Missouri, so I don't know that this could be right. But I wonder if this was the general store. Because, see, I think their general store was in Owens, Missouri. But look at the ad for Royal Typewriters up at the top. Isn't that cool? This is a very cool postcard. I'm going to have to put this one aside so that I can ask Grandma about it. This is a cool photographic postcard. Don't see a lot of these. This one's from 1936, and I cannot read what that says. I can tell you right now. But this is going to be in our nature, or it could be florals, but I think nature. That's a cool postcard. I don't see a lot of the photograph postcards very often. Ooh, I bought this online. This is Hollywood and Vine. And I love the Coca-Cola advertisements with the Rexall, and then you get the Capitol Records building. I think this is so cool. I I was going to put this in neon, but I do think it's got to go in cityscapes. But this is a cool postcard. So this was 1978, this postcard here. So we'll put that in cityscapes. Yes, complete treasure trove. I agree. This is the Standing Tower in Omaha, Nebraska. So that's cool. This is from 1945. It says that they left at 12:30 from wherever they were going. Oh, from Owensville yesterday. Snow here. Fred's at it again. Fred is at it again. He is writing my grandma this time. Way to go, Fred. All right, Fred. That's going in cityscapes. And then we've got, we'll put her in Victorian, even though she's not Victorian, but she's fabulous. This is from 1942. It says, Dear Bev, there is a little pet deer here. Pet deer. About 3 months old. This something the beeper. Give him a little bottle of milk. Oh, wow. That's cool. So where was this mailed from? Might be from Owensville. But then the other place, the other set of family, they had a farm. So it might have been there. Let's see. It's nice to show you a lot of pep, but it's still wise to watch your step. That's a really odd postcard. It's nice to show a lot of pep, but it's still wise to watch your step. Oh, I guess when you're going up the stairs, you don't fall down. That's a postcard I need. I need that because I'm clumsy. All right, that's going in our Victorian stack. Let's see. We're going to kind of speed round these next couple. So we've got, this is Atlantic City, New Jersey from I'm guessing 50s probably. Look at the Camel cigarettes ad. Can you guys see that up on the billboard? The Camel cigarettes ad. That is cool. So this will go, we'll put this in our nature because of the ocean. And then we've got the Courtland Hotel in Louisville, Kentucky, from 40 something. Dear Miss Beverly, how are you now? We didn't have anything to put rain on our way down here. It's going to be a very nice day today. Thinking of you, yours truly, Bill. Sent to my grandmother in St. Charles, Missouri. So that's very cool. Neat little postcard, and hats off, I can read the writing. Woohoo! Okay, that's going in our vintage hotel category. Oh, now this is cool. Greetings from Owenville, Gateway of the Ozarks. This is the Verdman Shoe Factory, and it's a photographic postcard, but how interesting, that you can take a photograph of the Verdman Shoe Company, and that was a postcard you could buy. That's so interesting. This was 1941, and I cannot read, but if you want to screen grab it, you can and read the message on the back. So there it is. So we'll put this, guessing in cityscapes. It's not really a good place for it, but it's there. This one is the heart of Oklahoma City. My grandma wrote Oklahoma City. That looks like my grandmother's handwriting. But this was sent to my grandmother in 1951. It says, Dear Beverly, we are at Oak Creek Canyon. It is very pretty here. It has been up in the 90s and in the 100s. But New Mexico gets cold at night. I visited Grand Canyon yesterday. I'll see you July 13th. Yours truly, Pal. Pal. Well, cool. I don't know who Pal is, but way to go, Pal. Oklahoma City. So that will go in our cityscapes. Let me just show you. Cityscapes has a massive amount of postcards. It is a very large category. Okay. Oh, this is the Olympic Hotel. Yes, and someone wrote this to my grandmother in 1950. Wow. They had some very cool handwriting and very neat and very small. It says, hire the handicapped. It's good business. Wow. That's a really cool postmark. Huh. Back in 1950. I would not have expected something like that, and I think that's remarkable. Good for the postmark people. That is a really cool postcard. All right, well, that is going in our hotel slot. Little stack over there. Oh, Niagara Falls. That's a cool one. Look at the imagery on that. And then our Hot Springs, Arkansas, also. This was sent in 1946. It says, hello, all okay. I love how people write, all okay. How the handwriting, yes, I know, has changed. Lasts a rough to go on now. I had to go to a something. I wish I could read this. I just can't. And, I studied cursive in school, so it's not, the cursive isn't the issue, it's the pen. It kind of, they're smearing. All right, so we'll put that in cities. And then, this is the General Sherman tree in Sequoia National Park. That is cool. This was sent in 1941 into Owensville. Is this Fred again? Fred, good job, Fred. You're sending some more postcards. When I see Owensville, I'm like, yep, that's Fred. That will go in animals and nature. Now, the Sequoia National Forest is very cool. My grandfather loved the General Sherman tree. He was you could say he was a master gardener of sorts. At 70, he built his own greenhouse and had orchids and all kinds of plant species and could identify almost any tree just driving along the road. Incredible. He was also an electrical engineer for IBM and then he didn't own, his dad owned a radio and TV station. It was the first radio station in Southeast Missouri, and he went back and ran the radio station, but he was always fascinated with General Sherman and all the redwoods out in California. So as a kid, when I finally got to go out there and visit those trees, it was very exciting to me, and that postcard is extra special because of Grandpa. Okay. This is the Highway Railroad Bridge in St. Johns River. Skyline and background is Jacksonville, Florida. This postcard I must have gotten. This is cool. This is Jacksonville, so it's a local piece. So this one I must have gotten. So we'll put this in Cityscapes. And then this we'll also put in Cityscapes. This was sent in 1944. It says, what's this to? Flora Stukenbroker. Okay. Don't worry. Got down to St. Charles. Okay. Got a moon chop? Moon cheap? Moon something. Hope you're okay. Yours something. Gosh, I wish I could read these better. Got a moon. What does that say? Cheap? Chop? I don't know. And then it says address your mailman to something numbers. Oh, wow. Address your mailman to streets and numbers. So I guess they were trying to educate people on actually putting more in your thing so people could find you. 1944, so it wasn't 1948 yet, so they wouldn't have had 2-digit zip codes in large cities. So that's an interesting little postcard history there. All right, that will go in cities. This one is the buddy system again. I think we have 2 of these. And this is from I can't read that. 1951. Hi, Beverly. How are you? I am fine. I think I forgot to tell you I won't be able to take my lesson Friday since I am still at camp. How is every little thing? So long, Donna. So Donna was another person I guess my grandmother was teaching music to. So we will put this in Florals in Nature, I think. Hi, Nick. Welcome, welcome. Oh, we've got a fabulous New Year's postcard with a top hat, and I'm pretty sure that I purchased this myself. Yes, but this did come from Missouri, so this is an early one, probably 1907, and it's a cuckoo clock with a New Year's image and a little. Is that a girl or a boy? They're on ice. I can't really see, but you have a little bird up top and the holly. It's embossed, and then you've got the guy with the monocle swinging from the bottom part of the cuckoo, and then he's got the January 1st and his top hat. So that's a fun one that will go into our New Year's postcard slot. And then we've got this beautiful, kind of almost eerie, I must say, Christmas postcard on the family sleeping by the tree with the candles lit from 1912. And I just cannot imagine the candles being lit on a tree like that. I mean, everybody did it, but I'm sure it caused a lot of fires. So that's our first one. I think, is that our first one to go in Christmas? You gotta be kidding me. We don't have very many Christmas postcards. Okay, this is the East Room in Washington, D.C. We are down to the bottom of the barrel, guys. So this one is not signed or dated or postmarked, but we'll put that in our fancy interiors. This one was sent to my grandmother from Santa Barbara, California. It is not postmarked. So I don't know if this was ever sent because there's no stamp on it. It says, "Dear Bev, the post office is real." The post office is real, okay, and is very nice with good fun to write. Clarence. All right. Well, this was not postmarked, but I guess somehow it made it to Grandma, or he brought it to Grandma. I don't know. This one, I think we'll have to go in Cityscapes. Oh yeah, well it's their beautiful post office. Imagine having a postcard of the post office. Okay, that's cool. This one is another photographic postcard, which will, I think, go in our animals. And in 1949 is the date. Look at these horses. Isn't this cool? This says the horses and the staff of LC have first returned from a cargo. Let's say cargo something in Wisconsin. The something you and parents in the orientation week, I think, but I cannot read what that says. But very nice handwriting. I wish we'd get back to that. So I was sent to my grandmother. That's in St. Charles, Missouri. So 1949. Grandma was born in 1930, so she would have been, 9 years old when she was sent this postcard? So that's very cool. So that's going in Nature. And then we have the view looking east from Terminal Tower showing Ohio Bell Telephone Building. You gotta be kidding me. This is cool. We have an Ohio Bell Telephone Building, and I'm obsessed with anything Bell Telephone. So that is very cool. That's going in Cityscapes. Good night, Bonnie. I'm glad you're here. Been looking forward to this. Just surprised it's still going. Oh, no, that's okay, but you'll enjoy the replay. Yes, definitely have to, because we've just got these postcards and that's it. This is of the Hotel Berwick from 1951. So this will go in our hotel. It says springtime has arrived here, and the flowers are really beautiful. The cherry trees are in full bloom, and the tulips have just started blooming. We can't make this something club meeting, but tell the group hello from us, and we hope to be back by the end of the month. The I think the Graffs, sent this to my grandparents. And my grandmother, my great grandmother, was in all kinds of clubs and different things. Eastern Star, I think. So that kind of makes sense. So we'll put that in hotels. And then we have another Statler Hotel in St. Louis, Missouri. I guess this building's still there. 1942. I cannot read what this says at all. But I think, this was sent to my great grandpa. So that's very cool. What's the postmark say? Oh, yeah, buy defense savings and bonds. Again, we got some really cool history on our hands there with that. And then we got 3 more postcards, guys, and we have officially sorted the postcards. Never thought we'd get through all of them. Statue of Liberty, of course, in New York City, so that's fun. That will go in our cityscapes. Then we have the Rotunda Wing in Mission, Indiana, Riverside, California, sent in 1941 to Miss Doris Dukenbroker in Owensville. I think Fred must have been Dora's son. And I need to get Grandma to write down all of this so that I have it in writing, because in my mind, I'm not going to be able to get that straight. So that must be it. So I will ask her, but that's very cool. Okay, so this is going in cityscapes. And then the last one, I bought this because I loved it. Even a dog would. Isn't that adorable? Now, I would put this in nature and animals, but it's got to go with my Victorian ladies because this is just fabulous. I loved it, and it was sent to somewhere in Pennsylvania. I guess some people just send postcards and not even write a message. They were just mailed, and somebody plucked off the stamp, probably a stamp collector. I doubt back then you could actually reuse the stamps because it's illegal to do that now, so I don't know if people did, or if that was allowed, or what the story behind that was, but that's pretty cool. Well, guys, I'm dropping postcard sleeves. We officially did it. We have sorted. I will take an image so you guys can see. Look at all the hard work that we have done in the last, we've been on almost 3 hours. This is how many postcards I had. But look, guys, we have sorted the postcards. It is done. This is amazing. Okay, so Laura said the building is still there. Awesome, Laura. That's so cool. Gavin says, do I have a favorite postcard? Yes, Angela will be happy now. Well, I put some aside that I thought were really cool, and I will show them to you. One of my favorite postcards, I love this because it's got the Royal Typewriter ad in the top of the store. I love this because of the neon, and it's, Hotel Connor, I think is really cool. That's in Joplin, Missouri. And then, of course, the Brooklyn Bridge and Skyline in New York City is a favorite. And then I love the Cream Eclipse postcard with the shoe advertisement. But I think my favorite, just because of the family history, has to be this postcard that says, "Here is where I work." And this is the production and research plant in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, birthplace of the atomic bomb. Yes, that's right. My grandmother's brother helped build the atomic bomb. So as he worked on the Manhattan Project, and this is a really, really special piece of family history written by George himself. So this is probably one of my favorites because of the history there. I think is really cool. I also love this postcard because I have the little finial that came from the top of the Main Street Bridge lights before they were torn down. So I think these are amongst my favorites for that reason. So that's very special. Um, yeah, I love those. They're all wonderful. But we have officially sorted all the postcards. I am so glad you have found this little group of people because we love you, Poodle. Anne says, my dad was an electrical engineer for Northwestern Bell in New York City. We lived in New Jersey and he commuted. He was transferred to Omaha in 1969 because my parents wanted to go back to the Midwest. Wow, Anne, what a cool story. Do you have any Bell telephone memorabilia? I bet you probably have some from your dad. Yes, and I love the linen postcards. Those are my favorite. Well, guys, that has been all of the postcards. I don't have any more. That is a pretty fabulous sorting session. Thank you all for tuning into this. I'm glad that we finally got this done. Hats off to Angela, who made these dividers and made this whole system possible. It will make my live sales 10 times easier, and you guys will get to see new postcards every week. So do tune into that. It is getting a little bit later here, 10:42. The storm has started to kick up a little bit here, but again, we are not getting a direct hit, so I am safe. It's just a lot of bad wind and rain, so a good time to stay inside. I'm going to go check in on my dog, who's probably wondering what's going on out in the outside, and I appreciate you all for tuning in. Glad you could hang out with us, and Helen, I am so glad you tuned in, and I'm glad that we finally got this sorted, and it will be a massive help to me when I'm trying to find certain postcards during the sale. See, I didn't even know that I had horse postcards, and I've been looking for horse postcards so that I could show my bridal brooches. Now I have horse postcards. Very exciting. All right, Kathy, good to see you. Glad you were here. Thank you, everyone. And as always, I hope you'll save that vintage, spin that vinyl, and bench you too. Bye-bye, friends.